Come on, round one, fight! Yep, we're looking at a fighting game. Today is Super Street Fighter 2 HD Remix. This one's coming at you at PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. I'm not sure if it's anywhere else at this point, but I know those for sure. So how's this one going to stack up? Let's find out. Now, this game was a lot better in my youth, because in my youth, I remember playing it, enjoying it. It was a sweet game, it was a fun game. You do the whole fighting thing and whatnot. But compared to modern fighters, this is a very brutal and unforgiving fighter. Okay, the characters just can take and like look at that Russian there. He could just pull me out of moves and whip me around like nothing. What? That's not even fair, guys. So the game itself, like I said, it's very old, very antiquated, very hard, and yeah, I'm having a hard time going back to this one. I would give it a shovel of shame, but like I said, you have to take things in perspective of when they were released. This is actually somewhat of a sore reminder of how hard Street Fighter used to be. It wasn't until the Alpha series refined the gameplay and made it not just easier, but made it more inviting for a wider cast of players. Because even though the Alpha series narrowed the roster back down, only to have to regrow it, the Alpha series fixed a lot of what was broken. This one still feels like the rigid Street Fighter. I mean, it's like comparing the original Mortal Kombat or the original Virtua Fighter is actually a bad example, but original Mortal Kombat, original, say, Fatal Fury, any of the original fighters from back in the late 80s, early 90s, and saying, hey, let's put this up against something modern. So yeah, it's a bad reminder. But with the HD remix, it looks a lot better than it used to. This is definitely better because instead of 16-bit sprites, you're now looking at full 1080p rendered characters. Awesome. Great. You did a wonderful job of making these characters look full anime, fully animated. Awesome. Totally kudos, Capcom. You put some love into this one. Great. The question of if this is right for you, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no unless you want that harsh reality of reliving the old Street Fighter era where, like I said, it felt broken. It was darn near impossible to do a lot of the special moves, and when you're playing against the computer could do the impossible. It just always had that split second where it could just yank you, pull you out of a move, tear you up, spit you out, and say, haha, try it again, buddy. Come on, try it. I dare you. I dare you. Come on, try it. Hit me. Come on, right here, right here. No. I hated that when I was a kid. I still do now, and this one I find more frustration than I do joy playing. But then we're also going to look at it from a moral standpoint. From a moral standpoint, you're not only dealing with martial arts fighting, which we all consider, but you have people like Dalsim, who's a witch doctor. You have M. Bison, who has psycho powers. Vega, who is very sadistic. I mean, you have different themes like that you may not want your kids exposed to. And then, of course, there's Cammy, who has basically the equivalent of a full-body thong. Yeah, something that I don't necessarily want my kids seeing. So, would I allow this one in my family and stuff like that? It's an old one. It brings back a lot of nostalgia, but the frustration really outweighs the morality, and even if it wasn't there, I'd have a hard time justifying this one. So, morally speaking, it may not be the right game for kids, even with the martial arts violence and everything else. Hey, remember, themoralgamer.com, links below. Check out our website. We have more playthroughs, we have commentaries, and even some outtakes from some of the reviews. Check us out.